Hello. So you've decided to change one of your children's behaviors. Congratulations. Because it really starts with you, and you're the only one who can make lasting changes in their behaviors. This video is going to address sibling rivalry. Such things as bickering and tattling. Those are the main things that happen in regular sibling rivalry. And the technique I'm going to use is called the active ignoring technique. This technique you will see in other videos. If you look through the video library, you'll find it will be helpful for a variety of different behaviors. But for this video's purpose, we're going to use it on the sibling rivalry behaviors. Step 1 of 3 steps in this active ignoring technique is the setup step. It's really helpful when making any change in your child's behaviors that you give them a heads up, that you let them know change is going to be coming and this is what it's going to be, so you don't surprise it and just pop it on them. Let them know in the setup that the next time they start bickering and try to pull you in, oh, Mom, she said this, he said that, and just try to get your attention and drag you in to become their referee. Just let them know that next time they do that, you're going to let them sort it out themselves. They're big enough. They're 5 years and 7 years old. They're plenty old enough to take care of this themselves. Let them know that you have confidence in the fact that they can sort their own fights out. And if one of them comes tattling to you and saying so-and-so did this or so-and-so did that, let them know that you're going to turn them right round and send them back to sort it out themselves. That's all you need to do in the setup. Keep it simple, but keep it clear. Then, it won't be long before your children provide you with an opportunity to follow through with what you said in step 1. This is step 2, the follow-through step. When you hear them fighting or bickering in the background, try not to do what you normally might do, which is go in and be the referee. You can be the referee, but as you probably know by now, telling them to stop fighting, or telling them to go to separate rooms, or telling them not to tattle, you know by now that that isn't working, because if it was working, they would not be doing it. So let's assume that you've tried various things and they haven't worked. Let's try one more thing. The follow-through. You can hear them bickering, hold back. Just don't respond in your normal way. Wait and see what happens. I can guarantee either they will get louder in their bickering to try to get your attention, or they will bring their fighting in to where you are so you can see them. Don't be fooled and don't be dragged in. Sibling rivalry was designed for one purpose and one purpose only, and that was to bring parents in to help sort them out, to get attention. It's not negative to getting attention. Children need attention. It's just one of the ways they pick up through whatever experience they've had. They've found out that bickering works. It brings you in. It's reinforced that behavior. So just don't reinforce it anymore. Ignore it. Give yourself something else to concentrate on at the same time as listening carefully to what's going on. Because if it gets too serious, if it gets to the point where they've crossed that line, perhaps they become physical, perhaps someone is really crying in pain, perhaps someone has been hit very hard. You don't want it to cross that line and get physical. Bickering is only annoying, teasing, and perhaps a little bit of shoving here and there, but it doesn't get to really serious physical contact. That's the line you don't want it to cross. Short of that line, you can just ignore it. And when they have finally stopped what they're doing, acknowledge it. Step 3. This is the reinforcement step. You need to let them know once they've finished fighting that they did a good job. You asked them to do something, they've done it, they accomplished something. Let them know. Tell them, wow, you guys sorted that fight out on your own. I am absolutely amazed. I knew you could do it and I wanted you to do it, but this is the first time I've really seen you do it and I absolutely think that's great. Praise them, don't go over the top, but really be very positive about it. Don't go back to why they were fighting and that was no good and preach to them about how brothers and sisters don't fight. Don't bother about that. Just praise what they did do. Encourage them to do more of that by reinforcing the good behavior. Now, one thing I will say is if they do cross that line, every parent will have that line in a different place. I suggest you have that line fair and square. One side is non-physical pain, on the other side of the line is physical pain. You don't want that to happen. If they cross that line, and you can tell them this in the setup as well, if you get to the point where you're pulling hair, punching, hitting, doing something else that's aggressive, then I'm going to separate you and put you in separate rooms or separate places where they can't see each other. You cannot play referee at this point. I don't care if the 7-year-old hit the 5-year-old and he's older and should know better. Don't worry about that. Don't play referee because you'll only make it worse. They both got into the fight. They were both fighting. They both go to their places to calm down. And when they're ready to come out of their corners or wherever you put them, then they're ready to go about their day. You don't revisit the situation with them unless they get into a fight again, a bickering fight again. Then you go back to step 2. You follow through, let them know only that you're leaving for them to sort out, then back out of the situation, let them do it. And then step 3, the reinforcement step again. So very important, set them up, follow through with what you were going to say, and then reinforce and praise at the end. With the caveat that if it gets physical, you're going to have to separate them. And I would advise you to look at the video regarding timeout or calming spot. That is something that you might need to use if it gets too difficult for you to manage it with the active ignoring and you don't feel safe doing that. Safety always comes first. I'm Fiona Cattermole, parent coach, behaviorist, and author of Kids in Chaos, Restoring Calm Through Behavioral Change. Hopefully this video gave you what you needed in terms of a technique that will help change your child's behavior. If it didn't, I advise you to buy a copy of my book, Kids in Chaos. It'll go into the techniques and it will help you customize the approach that you need and give you more detail. It'll also take you to other techniques that you might be able to use, such as timeout or the calming spot. You can also sign up for a coaching session where we can customize a technique to your situation. Also, stay tuned for my upcoming webinars, and don't worry if you miss one. They'll be posted on the website and you can download one at your convenience. Congratulations for improving your parenting skills and good luck.